Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, just 1 cent, something you might toss in a jar without a second thought. But what if I told you that same penny could be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Today, we're going to uncover the hidden treasure that might be sitting in your pocket right now, the 1968 penny. And trust me, by the end of this video you'll never look at your loose change the same way again. The year was 1968. While America was deep in the Vietnam War and revolutionary cultural changes swept the nation, something extraordinary was happening in our nation's mints. The San Francisco Mint had just reopened its doors, joining Philadelphia and Denver in producing what would become some of the most fascinating pennies in American numismatic history. But here's the thing, not all 1968 pennies are created equal. Some of them, they're worth more than a brand new car. Let's rewind a bit. The Lincoln cent, featuring our 16th president's dignified profile, had already been a staple of American currency for nearly 6 decades by 1968. But this particular year, it would prove to be something special. With 3 mints producing pennies simultaneously, the stage was set for some of the most valuable errors and varieties ever discovered. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny from 1968. How special could it be? Well, let me tell you about Sarah Thompson from Ohio. Last year, she was cleaning out her grandmother's old coin jar when she noticed something unusual about one of the pennies. That single coin. It sold at auction for over $87,000. And the really incredible part? There are more valuable 1968 pennies still out there, waiting to be discovered. The key to understanding these valuable pennies starts with the mint marks. You've got your Philadelphia pennies with no mint mark, Denver pennies with a tiny D, and San Francisco pieces marked with an S. Simple enough, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these pennies hide a secret that only reveals itself under magnification, a secret that could make you rich. Take the 1968 double-die obverse penny, for instance. At first glance, it looks like any other cent from that year. But under proper lighting and magnification, it reveals a distinct doubling in the lettering and date. This isn't just some minor variety, we're talking about a coin that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars in the right condition. And yes, they're still out there in circulation, but that's not even the most valuable error from 1968. There's another variety that makes collectors' hearts race and their wallets open wide. Before I reveal it, though, let me show you exactly what makes these pennies so special. It all comes down to condition and those tiny details that most people miss. You see, in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A 1968 penny in average circulated condition might be worth just a few cents. But in pristine, uncirculated condition, now we're talking serious money. Add in a rare error or variety, and you've got something truly special on your hands. Let me give you an example. At a recent auction in Dallas, a perfectly preserved 1968 S-proof penny sold for over $14,000. Why? Because it exhibited a rare combination of exceptional strike quality and a fascinating mint error. The buyer? They knew exactly what they were looking for. And after this video, so will you. But here's the thing about valuable coins, you need to know exactly what to look for. First, grab a magnifying glass, at least 5x magnification, though 10x is better. You'll want to examine the date, the mint mark, and every letter of Liberty and In God We Trust. What you're looking for might seem subtle at first, but once you see it, you'll never unsee it. Pay special attention to the lettering. Does it appear doubled? Not just slightly fuzzy, but clearly doubled, like a shadow that's slightly offset. That's your first clue that you might have something special. But remember, not all doubling is valuable. It needs to be what collectors call hub doubling, and I'm about to show you exactly how to tell the difference. The mint mark is another crucial area to examine. A properly placed S or D should be clear and distinct. But sometimes you'll find something unusual, a mint mark that appears to be punched over another mint mark, or one that's slightly rotated. These varieties can command premium prices from serious collectors. Now, I know what you're thinking, just tell us about the most valuable one already. Well, hold on to your seats, because what I'm about to show you is absolutely incredible. This particular 1968 penny recently made headlines when it sold for an astounding amount at auction. The price? Let's just say it could buy you a luxury home in many parts of the country, but before I reveal that coin, let me show you something else that had the collecting world buzzing. Take a look at this seemingly ordinary 1968 penny. Nothing special at first glance, right? Wrong. Under magnification, this coin reveals one of the most dramatic double die errors ever discovered on a Lincoln cent. The doubling is so pronounced, it's visible to the naked eye once you know what to look for, and now, the moment you've been waiting for. Remember that coin I mentioned that could buy you a house? Here it is, the 1968 double die obverse penny with a repunched mint mark. This isn't just any double die, it's perhaps the most dramatic example ever discovered on a San Francisco mint penny from this year. The doubling is crystal clear on the date, liberty, and, in God we trust. Combined with the repunched mint mark, it's a numismatic perfect storm. This particular example, graded MS-67 red by PCGS, sold for an astonishing $158,625 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, over $150,000 for a single penny. And here's the really exciting part, experts believe there are more out there, still undiscovered, possibly sitting in old coin collections or even in circulation. Just last month, a construction worker in Michigan found one of these rare varieties in his pocket change. He almost spent it on a candy bar before noticing something looked off about the lettering. After having it authenticated, he sold it for enough money to put his kids through college. These stories aren't just lucky flukes, they're happening more often than you might think, but finding these valuable pennies isn't just about luck. It's about knowing exactly what to look for and where to look. Start with bank rolls, they're still one of the best sources for finding rare coins. Check your change, especially from older businesses that have been around since the 1960s. And don't forget to look through those old coin collections gathering dust in attics and basements. Remember that Ohio woman I mentioned earlier? She almost sold her grandmother's entire coin collection to a dealer for $100 before she decided to do some research. That one decision, to take a closer look at those old pennies, changed her life. And it could change yours too. The best part. New varieties of the 1968 penny are still being discovered. Just last year, a previously unknown double die variety was authenticated, sending shockwaves through the collecting community. Who knows what other treasures are still waiting to be found, so here's what you need to do right now. Grab every 1968 penny you can find. Check your coin jars, your drawers, your car's console, anywhere loose change might be hiding. Look for the mint marks, check for doubling, and pay special attention to those San Francisco examples. You might just find something extraordinary, and don't forget, knowledge is power in the world of coin collecting. The more you know, the better your chances of finding something valuable. That's why I've put together a comprehensive guide to attributing these rare varieties. You'll find the link in the description below. The 1968 penny, it might look like just another piece of copper, but it could be your ticket to a fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who enjoys a good treasure hunt, these coins represent an incredible opportunity. They're still out there, waiting to be discovered, possibly worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, what are you waiting for? Check those coin jars, raid that piggy bank, and start your search today. Who knows? The next great 1968 penny discovery could be sitting in your pocket right now. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more amazing coin discoveries, and share your findings in the comments below. Until next time, happy hunting. In a world where treasure can hide in plain sight, there's one coin that's been turning the numismatic community upside down. What if I told you that a simple 1999 US penny in your pocket could be worth thousands of dollars? That's right. Some of these pennies hold a shocking secret that most people completely overlook. But what makes them so special? And how can you tell if you have one? Stick around because you might just have a small fortune hiding in plain sight. Picture this, it's 1999, the world is preparing for Y2K, and the United States Mint is busy producing what seems like ordinary Lincoln pennies. Little did they know that some of these coins would become some of the most sought-after modern rarities in American numismatics. These humble 1-cent pieces, with Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, might look ordinary at first glance. But beneath their copper-plated zinc surface lies a story of mistakes, experiments, and astronomical value that has collectors worldwide scrambling to check their change. The standard 1999 penny was produced in massive quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with over 12 billion pieces struck between them. These regular pennies feature the classic Lincoln design that's graced our cents since 1959, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 19 millimeters in diameter. In circulated condition, most of these coins are worth exactly what they say, 1 cent. Even in pristine, uncirculated condition, a typical 1999 penny might fetch a few dollars from a dedicated collector, but here's where things get really interesting. Not all 1999 pennies are the same. Some have an error that turns them into a collector's dream. Let's dive into the mystery. Enter the 1999 wide AM penny, a variation so subtle that millions of people have probably handled one without ever realizing its true value. The difference lies in the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse of the coin. In normal pennies, these letters are positioned close together, what collectors call the close AM variety. But in the rare wide AM version, there's a noticeable gap between these letters, a gap that can mean the difference between a penny and a small fortune. This error occurred when dies intended for proof coins accidentally made their way into regular production. You see, proof coins, those specially made collector versions with mirror-like surfaces, used a different die design with wider letter spacing. When these proof dies somehow mixed with regular production dies, they created a variety that was never meant to exist. Today, wide AM pennies from 1999 can command prices that would make your jaw drop. While a normal 1999 penny might be worth a cent, a wide AM in uncirculated condition has sold for upwards of $500, with the finest examples reaching into the thousands. And that's just the beginning of our story. But wait, the wide AM isn't the only rare 1999 penny. There's an even rarer error that can make your coin even more valuable. Let me introduce you to the 1999 double die obverse penny. This spectacular error occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives multiple impressions at slightly different angles during its creation. The result? A coin showing distinct doubling in the date, lettering, and even Lincoln's features. Under magnification, it's like seeing double, and when it comes to value, you might need to double-take at the price tag too. The doubling on these pennies is most visible in the date and lettering on the obverse, front, of the coin. It's not a subtle difference. Once you know what to look for, it's like Lincoln himself is trying to step out of the coin. These double dies are so rare that when they appear at auction, collectors engage in bidding wars that can drive prices into the 5-figure range. Some of the finest examples have sold for over $50,000, and if you think these errors are rare, there's a special version of the 1999 penny that was never meant to exist, and it's worth even more. In 1999, the U.S. Mint was secretly experimenting with different metal compositions for the penny. The rising cost of copper and zinc had them searching for alternatives, and a small number of experimental pieces were struck using different metal alloys. These experimental planchets created pennies that look similar to regular issues but have distinct differences in weight and composition. These experimental pennies are so rare that only a handful are known to exist. Those that have been discovered have sold for astronomical sums. We're talking 6-figure prices. The difference can be detected through precise weighing and specialized metal testing, but the real challenge is finding one in the first place. Could there be more out there, sitting in jars and piggy banks across America? The hunt is on. Now that you know about these rare pennies, you're probably wondering how to check your own coins and what to do if you find one. The good news is that these valuable varieties could be anywhere, in your pocket change, in old coin rolls, or even in that jar of pennies you've been meaning to take to the bank. To properly examine your coins, you'll need good lighting and magnification. A 5x to 10x loupe or magnifying glass is essential for spotting the wide AM variety and double dies. Look at your coins under bright, direct light, and take your time. Rushing through could mean missing a life-changing discovery. If you think you found one of these rare varieties, don't rush to clean it or handle it excessively. The next step is crucial: getting it professionally authenticated and graded. Companies like PCGS and NGC are trusted third-party grading services that can verify your find and assign it a grade that directly impacts its value. When it comes to selling, you have several options. Online marketplaces like eBay can connect you with collectors worldwide, but prestigious auction houses might be more appropriate for the rarest varieties. Local coin shops can also be a good starting point, especially for getting an initial evaluation, but before you rush to sell, there's one crucial mistake collectors make that could cost you thousands. The world of rare coins is unfortunately plagued by counterfeits and altered pieces. Some unscrupulous sellers create fake wide AM varieties by manipulating regular pennies, while others try to pass off damaged coins as valuable double dies. Learning to spot these fakes is crucial. Look for signs of tooling marks around the letters, unusual surface texture, or inconsistent wear patterns. Another common mistake is selling too quickly. When a rare coin is discovered, excitement can lead to hasty decisions. Take your time to research current market values, get multiple opinions, and understand what makes your coin special. Remember, these rarities tend to appreciate over time. A coin worth thousands today could be worth tens of thousands in the future. The 1999 penny story is a reminder that extraordinary value can hide in ordinary places. These coins, the wide AM, the double die, and the experimental pieces, represent a fascinating chapter in American numismatics. They show us that even in modern times, rarities can be created through mistakes, experiments, and chance. So, what should you do now? Start checking those pennies. Look through your change, ask friends and family to save their cents, and maybe even buy a few rolls from the bank. You never know, the next great 1999 penny discovery could be sitting in your pocket right now. Share your findings in the comments below. Have you found any interesting varieties? Are you starting a penny hunt after watching this? Don't forget to subscribe for more videos about valuable coins hiding in circulation. And speaking of valuable coins, if you think the 1999 penny is impressive, wait until you hear about this rare dime that's worth a small fortune. Stay tuned. Remember, every coin tells a story, but some stories are worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey coin enthusiasts! What if I told you that a single penny, just 1 cent, could be worth more than your car? Stick around, because today we're diving into one of numismatics' most fascinating stories, the 1966 Lincoln penny. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be rushing to check every copper coin in your house. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, it's just a penny. But here's something that'll blow your mind. In 2023, a 1966 penny sold for more than $15,000. Yes, you heard that right, $15,000 for a 1-cent coin. And the craziest part? There might be even more valuable ones still out there, hiding in plain sight. The story of the 1966 penny isn't just about money, it's about mystery, government secrets, and a fascinating period in American history. You see, 1966 wasn't just any year for coin production. The United States was facing a massive coin shortage, and the government was desperate to solve it. Their solution? Remove all mint marks from coins, including pennies, to discourage collectors from hoarding them. But here's where things get interesting. This decision, meant to solve one problem, ended up creating something far more valuable. The removal of mint marks wasn't just a simple change, it was a complete overhaul of how coins were produced. And like any major change, mistakes were made. Beautiful, valuable mistakes that collectors now dream of finding. Think about it, billions of pennies were minted in 1966, but only a handful of them carry these special characteristics that make them worth thousands. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. except this needle could fund your next vacation. You might be wondering why the US Mint was so desperate to stop coin hoarding. Well, it all connects back to the 1964 silver piece dollar crisis. Collectors had been stockpiling silver coins, causing a nationwide shortage that threatened to disrupt the entire economy. The government's response? A complete overhaul of coin production methods. But in their rush to fix things, they accidentally created some of the most sought-after error coins in American numismatic history. But here's something that doesn't make sense: some 1966 pennies have actually been found with mint marks. In a year when mint marks were strictly forbidden, how did these coins even exist? The answer lies in one of the most fascinating mistakes in US mint history. You see, during the transition period, some 1966 dies were accidentally struck using old procedures. These transitional errors are incredibly rare, and when they surface, they command astronomical prices. But that's just the beginning of what makes some 1966 pennies special. Let's talk about double die errors. Imagine looking at a penny where every letter, every number appears to be stamped twice, slightly offset from each other. These aren't just manufacturing mistakes, they're like winning lottery tickets. The doubling effect happens during the die hub process, when the design is being transferred to the die that will strike the coins. If there's even a slight misalignment during this process, you get a double die error. Then there are off-center strikes. Picture a penny where Lincoln's head is practically falling off the edge of the coin. These happen when the planchet, that's the blank metal disc that becomes a coin, isn't properly centered when it's struck. While most off-center pennies might be worth $20 to $50, a perfectly preserved 1966 penny with a dramatic off-center strike could fetch thousands. But the real holy grail? That's the transitional error pennies. In the chaos of changing production methods, some 1966 penny planchets might have been struck on silver alloy blanks left over from previous years. These coins are so rare that many experts denied their existence until one was authenticated in recent years. Now, hold on to your seats, because this is where the story gets even more incredible. In 2023, a discovery shook the coin collecting world. A previously unknown variety of 1966 penny emerged, one with characteristics that shouldn't exist according to all official mint records. This discovery proved that even after more than 50 years, these coins can still surprise us. Let's talk about the crown jewel of 1966 pennies, the SMS, Special Mint Set, variety. These weren't your ordinary pocket change. They were specially struck coins with a unique satin-like finish, meant only for collectors. But here's the twist: some of these SMS pennies somehow escaped into circulation. Imagine finding one of these in your pocket change. The surface of an SMS penny is unlike anything you've ever seen. It has a distinct satin finish that sets it apart from both regular circulation strikes and proof coins. Under proper lighting, it looks almost like liquid copper frozen in time. These coins were struck with special dies and received extra attention during the minting process. They were never meant to be spent, yet some made their way into circulation. One of these SMS pennies made headlines when it sold for over $15,000 at auction. But what made this particular coin so valuable? It wasn't just its special finish, it was in nearly perfect condition, as if it had been preserved in a time capsule since 1966. Now, you might be wondering how to check if your 1966 penny is valuable. First, look for doubling on the lettering, especially on Liberty and the date. Use a magnifying glass. A 5x to 10x loop is perfect. Check the surface texture. Is it different from other pennies? Look for any signs of off-center strikes or unusual characteristics. But here's the crucial warning: whatever you do, do not clean your coins. This is the biggest mistake people make, and it's heartbreaking to see. I've witnessed collectors literally wipe thousands of dollars off their coins' value by trying to make them look prettier. That natural toning and patina? That's like gold to collectors. Once you clean it off, it's gone forever, and so is most of your coin's value. Let's talk about grading. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC are the gold standard in numismatics. They use a 70-point scale to rate a coin's condition, and even a single point difference can mean thousands of dollars in value. A 1966 SMS penny in MS-67 might be worth $5,000, while the same coin in MS-68 could fetch triple that amount. Some people have accidentally sold rare pennies for face value simply because they didn't know what to look for. One collector I know bought a 1966 double-die penny for just 50 cents at a garage sale. After professional grading, it turned out to be worth over $3,000. Now, let me share with you the top 3 most expensive 1966 penny sales that made history. The crown jewel was that $15,000 SMS penny I mentioned earlier, a perfect specimen with pristine surfaces and strong strike characteristics. The second highest was a dramatic double die error that sold for $12,500. And the third? A fascinating transitional error that commanded $8,750 at auction, but here's what keeps collectors up at night: experts believe an even rarer 1966 penny variety might still be out there. Mint records suggest the possibility of a handful of experimental strikes that used different metal compositions. Finding one of these would be like discovering a new species. It would rewrite numismatic history. So, what are you waiting for? That jar of pennies on your dresser, that old coin collection in your attic, or even that handful of change in your car's cup holder, they might contain a numismatic treasure worth thousands. Take a close look at those 1966 pennies. Check for doubled letters, unusual finishes, or any signs that make them stand out from ordinary cents. Remember, every great coin discovery starts with someone just like you, taking a second look at their spare change. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to make the next big 1966 penny discovery. Maybe you already have one of these valuable coins in your possession right now. If you've got a 1966 penny, share your findings in the comments below. Let's build a community of treasure hunters, all searching for these copper masterpieces. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos about rare coins and the fascinating stories behind them. Who knows? The next video might help you identify a coin worth thousands sitting in your pocket right now. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and never underestimate the value of a penny. Because sometimes, 1 cent can change your life. Happy hunting!